Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ejelonu and I have my dad with me today on this video. If you're new on my channel, thank you for watching this video. To my return subscribers, thank you so very much. Daddy, do you want to say hello?
Hello, how are you all? Hope you're all keeping well and safe.
Great. So the gist of this video, I don't know what the title will be, but the general gist is from my two previous videos. I had a few people who had sent me messages, and we also have actually had this conversation, and I have my own opinions and he has his own opinions on this matter. And it's, dear parent, why do you have to be buried back in Africa when you die? Take, for instance, you've been living abroad for so many years and then you die, you want your body to be taken back home. Let me just start off with my opinion. For me, well, okay, let me just use the word I used with my dad so that I don't sugarcoat things. I said it is just very selfish because, if my parents should pass, and I mean, they're always going to be in my heart, right? And the memories I've shared with them is what I would hold on to. But I just feel like sometimes I might want to just go to the grave where they've buried them and just have a conversation with them, but my dad is of the opinion that no, the body has to be back in the village, his body has to be back in the village. And I'm just thinking, that's like thousands of miles. What if I want to have a conversation with you? What if I want to just go and put flowers? Like, why do I have to travel that far to go and visit you at your grave? So for me, I don't know about anybody else, just for me, I just thought that was a bit selfish. And I just feel like, our parents, if they're living abroad, if your parent is living abroad, they've stayed and in the UK, in the US, Canada, Australia, wherever, and they've invested, they've bought properties, and one day they just want to go home. Makawai, and for me, I'm just thinking, the health sector in Nigeria is not great. You're going to just worry your kids so much because they're going to panic every time they get a call. Oh, they've rushed this person to the hospital. He fell down from here. It's like, I feel like I'm just going to have anxiety crazy because of that. But, I've had friends who their parents have gone back home after living in the UK for over 30 years. And their dad was like, no, take me back home. Like, he literally fought with his kids, take me back home. He's retired. He wants to go there, But I see how my friends are not really happy because one minute they're calling from the village saying, oh, their dad this, they go to this hospital, they go to that hospital. It's like going, like, it's stress. Going to one hospital, going to this other hospital, it's long, and then you're not in Lagos where you can just get on the next flight and travel, So that's my own opinion, and that's what I think. But I remember I was speaking to my friend at Denike, and she said just wherever it is the parent wants to be buried, just grant their wishes, and fine, I would grant their wish. But would I every time, or say every year, I'm going to the grave? To be really honest, it probably would not happen. That's just the honest truth. It probably would not happen because as we're getting older, there are things happening in our lives, more responsibilities, having kids, all of that, so planning would not be just on my time anymore. I have to consider those around me. Take, for instance, I have kids. I can't just up and go travel again, things like that. And I can't just up and carry everybody with me. Number one, his money, and yeah, that's just my own opinion. Over to you, Mr. Daniel Ejelonu.
Okay, well said. I guess there is a generational conflict here, which I will do my best to kind of unravel.
Yeah.
That conflict shouldn't even be there in the first place, because no matter how much you are settled here, so long as you are an African, you really don't belong here. You belong back to the mother continent, that is Africa.
You mean when you pass on?
Everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Granted, we know where
Not
we're
only
from.
when you have passed on, when you say you are here now, you can't do that, you can't do that, it is rather being selfish.
No, what
Huh?
I mean is, yes, I do understand I am still Nigerian, right? But if kids do come into the picture and there are moments that I need to go and visit my father's grave, I can't just pack everybody, because you do understand it's
Hang on a minute.
planning.
Can you pack them and go to holiday, say in Cuba or America? Or,
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then you can't pack them also to go to Africa.
But then
Where your
no,
roots
that's
are.
that's if it's a holiday, it's fine. But I'm saying just to see your
That could
to
be
see
a
you.
holiday for you and the kids. Yeah, why not? You could, if you can travel to America
Yeah.
with your kids
Yeah.
for, in quotes, holiday.
Yeah.
And that will flow money, which is your greatest worry. That could be well spent. In fact, by the time you do that for the kids, you are giving them the best gift.
That's very different.
Taking them back.
I'm not saying, no, don't get me wrong. I'm
trying
not
to
saying
unravel this conflict.
No. You're getting me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not going to take my kids back home to go for holiday. I mean, what I'm saying is there are moments that I might just miss you and I want to take flowers to your grave at that moment.
Okay,
That's different.
I
Yes, I would take my kids back home for holiday. I'm not saying they're not going to step foot into Nigeria.
Yes.
They will. But what I'm saying is, take for instance, my husband is being a pain and he's disturbing me that afternoon and I just want to go and see my dad. I just want to take flowers and just have a conversation with him.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that can still be done.
Daddy.
Without going to the graveyard.
Okay, yes, I can have a conversation with you. Like, I don't have to go to the graveyard.
Okay.
Right, yeah. But I am saying that if I want to.
You see, it's about prioritizing your engagement and all that. If the urge is so serious and you want to really have a conversation with me when I'm gone,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily need to be at the graveyard for that to happen.
Yeah, I get it.
You can even pick a picture, my picture, something that I'm so, maybe you can symbolize me with.
Yeah.
And that will be a point of contact. Going to the graveyard, okay, makes it a lot more surreal, makes it a lot more real. You know. But then that conversation can still be hard because by going to the to the graveyard, you are not seeing me physically.
True.
Similarly, by staying maybe in your quiet room or quiet time and maybe looking at my picture, you can still have that affinity, that connection.
Yeah, okay. I get you.
But that is even not the point.
I
need to talk about the essence.
Okay.
Why people of my generation feel it is important that their remains should
be
go
back
to motherland. You see, we were born at a time when things were very okay in Nigeria.
True.
And I never knew I would even leave Nigeria for a day to come and live abroad. That wasn't, you know, if one had a life goal, that wasn't my goal growing up in Nigeria, because when I was in Nigeria, schooled in Nigeria, started work in Nigeria, it was a different world altogether
compared to now.
Compared to now. Okay, and even then, living in Lagos, it was a bit of a ritual that every Christmas you
You
have to
go
go
home.
home. All right, because
Yeah.
that's where your root is. Can I just say this? Maybe people don't know it. From my community, yeah, I was born in another state, okay, but my parents made sure that a part of my umbilical cord was taken back to the village.
Oh, right, by the, yeah.
Yeah, and they will bury it like in a particular economic tree, maybe a palm tree or an orange, or they call it nkwalo or something like that.
Okay.
Nkwalo, that is mostly by the foot of a palm tree.
Okay.
So that connects you in a way back to your roots.
Okay.
Okay, so it is something that started from even when you were born, that you were spiritually, part of your body
Is there?
is there. You understand? So there is that spiritual connectivity between you and your hometown or village.
Okay.
Okay. Now, it's in Igbo land where I come from, where we all come from. We believe in asserting our position, even in death, in the
Yeah.
community, right? A man will grow up, get married, and all that. And when the community or the village meets, it's a way of, carrying out a kind of census: who is who and what is where. If your family is unable to say, okay, he has passed on, this is his burial, his grave,
Yeah.
it will be a bit shameful on that family, because they cannot account for their
Member of the family.
member of their family. They will be seen to be irresponsible, people who don't care. How can your person die abroad and you bury him abroad? No matter the cost, people of my generation would always want to be repatriated when they are gone.
But it's just tradition done laid by man. No.
It is a way of life, so to speak. All right? Because assuming I have a sibling and I'm the one, resident back home, I would always insist that I want to see that my sibling, I want to bury him in our plot of land, because every family, everybody has
There are
plots of
plots
land
of land
and
where
all
they
that.
lay their
And you want to, in future, say this was where my father was
buried.
And more importantly, too, because we were born in a time where the population had not exploded as it is today, where you can have a family of 10, 20, 30. In those days, people value their relations, even in death.
True.
Okay? So that's why they say you have to give the person a befitting burial. Unfortunately for people born maybe after the war, this sometimes is an anathema to them. They don't want to know, they don't want to believe that this is where it should be. And if you think about it, no matter how I keep on saying it, I'm sorry if people might not see my point of view. Despite whatever you would have achieved out here in the Western world, somewhere down the line, something will tell you that you are still a stranger here. You don't belong here.
Yeah.
Even it is sometimes systematic. in the system, you find no matter how you are settled and all that, you are still regarded as a migrant. Even if I was listening to a program this afternoon on LBC. This young man, the father came when he was 14 from Caribbean. And the father ended up till now not having papers in this country. And that caused him some mental breakdown to the extent that he was hospitalized and sectioned. And that affected the whole family. Although because the boy was born here,
He had his own papers.
he had his own papers. But because his father came in when he was 14, and we're talking about 60 years ago. So in spite of that, he has, developed a family here, built a life here, they still find him to be, not to belong.
Yeah.
I want to also say, yes, Africa is downtrodden now. There's lack of development. This will not last forever.
Amen.
It will not last forever.
Amen.
Africa is the mother continent. Okay? Yes, whatever it is that is keeping Africa down, it's not going to last forever.
Amen.
I tell you, why do I say this? I remember before the war, people from Nigeria only come here, study, get their degree, and go back.
Yeah.
And live very well, comfortable life, It was seen as a sign of failure if you finish your academics in those days and you remain here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you want to go back and help the continent, but unfortunately, mostly Africa, Nigeria, those of them that came back with different ideology, nepotism, and all that. So we derailed.
Yeah.
But look at Ghana, for instance, now. Many Americans, black Americans, are going back to Ghana to settle. If there are two other countries that are doing well as Ghana is today,
yeah,
I'll tell you, you would want to go back to Africa.
Definitely.
So the notion that this generation in quotes, don't see it, that it is something worth doing, it's a misnomer, because you have to look at tomorrow.
Yeah. We don't put off Nigeria, we don't put off Africa, we don't put it off, we don't write it off, we don't. Maybe some of us just don't like stress, we just want the basic stuff. And, because we are not getting that in Nigeria, so yeah, it's
frustrating.
It's frustrating.
I get that. But as I said, this is not going to be forever.
Amen.
So, whereas you are here now, okay, because there's very serious security challenges in Nigeria currently. It's not even advisable for you to go and start, you younger ones to start going, but I can go.
Why?
What?
Yeah.
I saw the war, right?
Okay.
And if I can survive what was thrown at us during the war, I will survive every other thing in life. I'm telling you that. It's good to settle down here in Western world, but still have that connection. That's the most important thing. Have that contact. And don't leave it until you are too old.
Yes, sir.
Because invariably, you might not recognize your village or your community or things are happening.
Yeah.
Things are happening.
Yeah.
You will be surprised when you go back now, since you've been here for
2 years.
2 years. You will be surprised now if you go to the village that you used to know, it's not the same again.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So, I wouldn't want people to see it as something that is not to be mentioned or discussed or tried. Depending on which community you come from, things are really moving.
Yeah.
In spite of the security challenges and the bad governance we are having in that country.
Yeah.
But for me, I'll recommend this for anybody my age. Start thinking about this. Would you want to have a legacy? Would you want to be remembered both by your children and your traditional family? Your biological family, okay, they might be here, but there's particular family where you originate from. And the earlier you started thinking in that direction, it will come quite natural that this is something you need to do. Again, it kind of ensures that your children will still have that connection, because the tendency is that if you are buried here and they are all comfortable here, they will forget about Africa, your hometown, and all that. And that means you will eventually not be remembered on earth by the time you are gone. So it is important, because some of your kids may be here, some may even want to be back in Nigeria for whatever reason. So give them an opportunity, a foundation where they can say, this is where I belong. Where do you belong? This is my daddy's graveyard. Yeah. So this is my father's land. You know, so now it's a good thing setting up here, living here, but then you don't lose sight of where you came from. It's important. Wherever we are, we have our own space, natural God-given space on this planet Earth, and mine is back there. No matter, even if I have the whole of Oxford Street, you know, there is where I originated from. And that is Mother Africa. Perfect. And that is why I've told my children. Maybe you will not tell your children. I've told my children I would like them to do everything possible to repatriate my body if I should keep the bucket here. It's not very difficult. I recommend if you are from Igbo, join all the town unions that you can, all the village meetings here in diaspora. They have provisions in their constitution to help their members of, family, their members, when they've gone, the family, they assist in helping repatriate the body home. Okay,
let me make that simple for my generation, who might not just understand what you just said. So basically, you do, if you're Igbo, if you're I'm not sure how the Yoruba people do it, but if you're Igbo, you know there's what you call like meetings. Maybe if your dad or your uncle, they're usually doing like this meeting, Igbo meeting. There's the August meetings for the women. So my dad, you're the chairman of the
so many of them.
So yeah, so many of them. He belongs to a lot of them, and they tend to do like meetings every Sunday. And usually when they do the meetings is via Zoom.
Because of COVID-19.
Because of COVID. But before COVID, they take turns and host each other in different, like their members' houses. So they take turns. And what I do...
Some of the meetings too, we have venues. We have, you know, if it's a very big one.
Yeah, if it's a big one, they do have a venue. I'm not even going to lie. Like, they go all out. Summertime is usually the best, rolling with my dad. Like, they have parties every other weekend. They will rent out a hall. You see traditional dancers. I drink my palm wine. They know how to have fun. I'll give it to them. But, you know, so when my dad like would drag me, especially in COVID, oh, come and say hello to this uncle, come and say hello to this auntie. To be honest, I can't really remember them because probably the last time I saw them, I was like little. So my memory is not, I can't remember, like, because obviously life happened and I wasn't keeping in touch. They were not keeping in touch. Like, we don't have that close relationship, but they obviously know who I am. So me, I couldn't remember them. But where I'm going with this gist is that, you know, me and my sibling, we used to just tell my dad, why are you disturbing us? Why do we need to come on camera? You know, it's your meeting, whatever. But, you know, he made me understand what the whole thing is about. And, you know, there was a time someone had passed away, and obviously when something happens in someone's family, especially if their dad or their mom was a member, they will do what they can, contribution, you know, making sure food for the funeral is who's doing that. You know, they do help out, and I see that. But obviously in my generation, we don't do things like that. There's nothing like meetings. You just have stuff with your like circle. We call it circle of friends. But so yeah, that's what he was talking about. Community, you know, your members and stuff like that. Yeah.
Can I just make some clarifications here? The community associations, meetings, or unions, whatever, they are not only there for burying their members. That is just not the purpose.
No.
Say, for instance, during the COVID-19
Pandemic lockdown,
we all came together and we were sending palliatives back to Africa.
Yeah.
Sometimes we send bags of rice, send money, and they'll buy bags of rice. Whichever community we are representing here will come together, mostly the women, and they share food and all that. Sometimes we send money. We also undertake a lot of developmental projects, you know.
Town
hall, building school. For instance, the electricity in my village was built by people who came together and set it up. Currently, we are doing drainage in the village.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you go there now, it's not that village you used to know. So, sometimes if people are in their need financially and information gets to us, we come together, make voluntary contribution. But in terms of that is a constitutional right, right? So, depending on the size of the association or the union, the Constitution will spell out what a dead member will be, the family will be supported with. Okay, so kids are always, the younger generation are always thinking about the cost of repatriating their parents back home. But there is a support network if the person had belonged to most of this association. Okay, some association will give as much as 3,000. 2,000, depending on the size and what the Constitution says. And in fact, our people in America are very big on this. I give it to them, right? You see what solidarity when somebody dies. Mm-hmm. When any of their members die, they do not mind traveling 2 days to make sure they are wakekeeping, and they raise thousands of dollars that the family may not even need any financial input again to repatriate the body. So don't be put off, but encourage your dad to belong to his community meeting or union or association. They will always help when the inevitable happens.
Okay, yeah, that should be the end of this video. We have touched on quite a few things. Thank you guys. I do hope you guys have taken something out of this video from my head and from my daddy's head as well. Thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you.
May God protect you. May God keep you safe. Amen. In all your endeavors, everything you want to do.
Amen.
This your head is
cool, eh?
It's warm.
Okay, because it's on duty right now. I hope it's not.
Yes, it is. But thank you guys. Thank you, Daddy. All your fans.
I love you loads. Whatever you do, keep safe and remain blessed.
Yes. Thank you guys so very much. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel, and share this video to your dad, to your mom, to your uncle, to your aunties, to your cousins, to the whole family. And until next time, stay blessed.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you.